Elite Facts presents
8 colossal animals from ancient times. 8. Titanoboa. Let's start off this list with quite possibly one of the scariest creatures to ever have existed. Now in this list we'll be going over other creatures like sharks and bears, but we don't think any of the following creatures are anywhere near as imposing as the Titanoboa. Okay, so people who were scared of the film Anaconda may want to skip this one, because the Titanoboa is the largest snake that ever existed. This species of snake was known to have grown over 40 feet long and could weigh up to 2,500 pounds. To put things in perspective, it is almost as heavy as a Mini Cooper, which fair enough is small, but is still a hefty vehicle. Titanoboa appeared not long after the dinosaurs went extinct and pretty much picked up from where the dinosaurs left off by being one of nature's most dangerous predators. Rather than using venom to kill its victims, its main method of attack was constriction, as the Titanoboa could apply as much as 400 pounds of pressure per inch to its victim. That is insane.
7.
Megalodon. So it goes without saying that sharks are pretty terrifying as it is. Whether it's great white hammerheads or tiger sharks, they're freaking scary. But how about a shark that's as big as 60 feet in length? Yeah, you just made a mess in your pants right now at the thought of a shark that big, didn't you? We are, of course, talking about the Megalodon, which translated from Greek means big tooth. The Megalodon is an extinct species of giant shark that lived approximately 28 to 1.5 million years ago. Thanks to its incredible length of up to 60 feet, it's considered one of the largest and most powerful predators that ever lived on the Earth. Distributed worldwide, Megalodon looked like a much larger and terrifying version of a modern great white shark. Now, think about it. Who truly knows if this beast is really extinct? I mean, we as a species have only explored only 5% of the Earth's water, so who's to say the Megalodon isn't somewhere lurking in the other 95%?
6.
Armored fish. Otherwise known as the Dunkleosteus, the armored fish was the largest of the prehistoric fish Placodermi. As you probably guessed by the creature's name, it does have some form of armor plating on its body, as its head and thorax were covered by articulated armored plates. Unlike piranha and sharks, instead of teeth, these fish possess 2 pairs of sharp bony plates, which formed a beak-like structure. Dunkleosteus would attack other related placoderms that had the same kind of bony plates for protection. Their jaws had enough driving power to cut and break through armored prey. The question here, however, is how big was this creature? Well, one of the largest known specimens found was around 33 feet or 10 meters long and weighed a colossal 4 tons. If you were to catch one of these things on your reel while fishing, to put it lightly, you'd be in for a really bad time. This fish was anything but picky with its food. It ate fish, sharks, and even its own kind. But it seems to have suffered from indigestion, as its fossils are often associated with regurgitated, semi-digested remains of fish. Scientists at the University of Chicago concluded that Dunkleosteus had the second most powerful bite of any fish in history. These giant armored fish became extinct during the transition from the Devonian to the Carboniferous periods.
5.
Gigantopithecus. Okay, let's be honest and get the most obvious joke out of the way. Usually when you think about giant apes, you immediately think of King Kong or Jack Black. It's easy to get these two mixed up, especially since they're in the same film, but we digress. However, did you know that giant apes actually existed? Gigantopithecus was an ape that existed from roughly 9 million to 100,000 years ago, placing it in the same time period as several hominid species. The fossil record suggests that individuals of this particular species were the largest apes to have ever existed, as on average they stood at almost 10 feet or 3 meters tall and weighed a huge 1,200 pounds or 540 kilograms. Now, we imagine you're probably disappointed that they weren't King Kong-sized, but that shouldn't take away from how massive these creatures really were. Scientists have not been able to determine the cause of extinction for this large ape, but some cryptozoologists theorize that sightings of Bigfoot and Yeti may relate to a lost generation of Gigantopithecus. But for all we know, that could again just be Jack Black on a picnic. Just kidding, we love Jack Black. 4. Megatherium. So sloths as we know them today are adorable yet lazy little creatures. All they do is climb trees slowly, lie about, and hang off branches. Can't really complain though, as they're non-threatening animals. However, their ancestors were the complete opposite. During the Pliocene era, Megatherium was a giant ground sloth found in South America. It weighed up to 4 tons and was 20 feet or 6 meters in length from head to tail. Although it primarily moved on 4 legs, footprints show that it was capable of being bipedal in order to reach leaves from the tallest trees. To put it into perspective, this thing was around the size of a modern-day elephant and still wasn't the largest animal in its habitat.
3.
Sarkis. At first sight, you may think that these creatures are some form of dire wolf or just canines in general. Well, surprisingly, the Sarkis is related closely to sheep. Living during the Eocene epoch, some 45 to 36 million years ago, Sarkis was a giant carnivorous mammal. Based on skulls and several bones that archaeologists have found, paleontologists suggest the predator might have weighed up to 4,000 pounds, which would possibly make it the largest land-dwelling mammal predator ever. That alone dwarfs the previous mentioned Titanoboa by more than double its weight.
2.
Dunkleosteus renania. Okay, scratch what we said about the Titanoboa. The Dunkleosteus renania is a much more terrifying animal. Sure, it's nowhere near as big as the Titanoboa, but it's a giant scorpion. That is horrifying. The Dunkleosteus renania, the largest bug on record, managed to up the ante by being an ancient giant scorpion from beneath the waves. It may just be us, but that makes it way worse somehow. Dunkleosteus at the time of its existence could be found in freshwater lakes and streams, ready to attack any unsuspecting victims who dare to tread on its land. Though referred to as a sea scorpion, it was really more of an oversized lobster, a fact which does nothing to decrease its hideousness, or its claws, which were the size of a grown man's head.
1.
Arctudus. Now again, a lot like snakes, sharks, and even scorpions, bears are pretty terrifying creatures. I mean, they're pretty big as it is, and most stand at around 8 feet tall. However, today's bears have nothing on the Arctudus. The Arctudus was a giant, short-faced bear that succeeded in being both gargantuan and prehistoric, standing at a staggering 12 feet tall on its hind legs and weighing over a ton. This bear probably could have easily ripped the face off of every land animal currently in existence without having any trouble. According to researchers and experts, they believe that hunting had a lot to do with this bear's extinction, either by being hunted directly or having their food supply depleted by early man. Like most extinct mammals from the Ice Age, this bear competed pretty heavily with human beings for the same natural resources, such as both water and food like berries and other animals that were regularly hunted at the time. It was a constant competition between the two species. We really only came out on top because we figured out how to make weapons first, so it's pretty safe to say that if these bears were still hanging around, it's entirely possible we'd still be competing with them, only instead of fish and fruit, we'd probably be fighting over KFC buckets and alcohol. Not to mention, we'd probably lose, as, like with most bears, it would only take one swing of their massive paw to absolutely destroy someone. And that's our list. Did we leave any out? Let us know in the comments below. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.